What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, you're watching One Life Cars, the channel where I teach you how to fix your car. You join me again in the Ford Fiesta for a bit of a different video today. In today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to remove and replace your door card, which for those of you who don't know is this card here. This door panel, door lining, door card. Door panel and door card are the most two common names for it. We'll get over to this side where I'm sat in the passenger side for a better look. So as you can see, there's no visible ways of getting into it or around a bit, but it's actually a very simple job and it only requires a couple of tools. So without further ado, let's crack on with it and teach you guys how to remove the door card / door panel on the Ford Fiesta. Let's go! Alright guys, we're looking at the door card, and the first thing you might notice is I've opened the door. Give yourself plenty of space. I've put the seat all the way back, and I'm showing you this on the passenger side as it's a lot easier for me to manoeuvre and a bit more space. But it doesn't matter, you'll find the passenger side and driver's side are both the same anyway, just mirrored. So, let's go. First thing we're looking for is ways to get into the door card, and the most obvious and first one is this screw here. Now it should have a black plastic cap over it, so when you look in on yours you might not see anything other than just black plastic, but if you look closely you'll see the circle of where the cap goes, and you can get a little flat screwdriver and pop the cap off, revealing a Phillips screw. It's a normal crosshead screw, so I'd probably get that out first job. Now once you've got that screw out, the next thing we're going to look at is this panel here. And for those of you who've watched the door mirror removal video, you'll be familiar with this panel. It just pops off with your hands. Now you need the door to be open for this. So with the door open, you're going to get some fingers on it or behind it, whatever you find best. Or maybe a tool just behind the plastic edge there, and pop it off like so. But perhaps don't be so rough. I've already half loosened this for the video, so it come off quite easy. But yeah, don't be so rough with it. Try and prise it off gently so you don't snap the clips, because then it never goes on right and it'll rattle about when you're driving and annoy you. So now we've got that off, we can see there's no screws for the door card behind there, it's just mirror stuff. We might have to disconnect that, I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know as the video continues. So we've got that panel out the way, we've got this screw out. Now the next thing you've got is two plastic nuts underneath. I'll try and get a good shot of him. One there and one further along. You have to probably get on the ground to do these. They're just like plastic nuts. So we'll get a socket on them now, and I'll let you know what size we need to undo them. Also guys, if you look at this trim here, this shape sort of around the bottom of the handle and just underneath the window switch, you'll see it's got a line all the way around it, and you can get a flat screwdriver under it and it just peels off. It's just on plastic clips like you can see here, and you can pull it all away like so. Right, so I've got this fully off, and it sort of comes off with the switch as well, so be careful of the wires on your window switch. You can pop that switch out if you want, or just leave it like that, it's up to you. So there's a bolt here, as you can see there sticking out, I've already undone that, and there's also one in there. I'll just focus it so you can actually see. There you go, and it's a T25 Torx bit, just like that. It doesn't have to be one with a hole in the top, I'm just using that because it's the first bit of pics, but it's a Torx T25 Torx bit. Get them two undone, and then it should be everything. Like I say, that screws there's out, your panels off the bottom, both plastic nuts are off. They're a nightmare, by the way. You're better off just yanking them out of a pair of pliers. They're just plastic clips basically. And after that, and these two here, we should be able to start pulling the door card off. Now I've already started undoing it a bit here, so I recommend you start from this corner, prise it away there, try and lift it up and off. That sort of sits on that metal there. Lift it up and off and work your way around and round the bottom, and it should all pop off quite easily. Don't yank it away from the car too much, as you've got wires for the window control, wires for the speaker somewhere, even though that should be connected to the door, not the door card. That wire might need to be disconnected. Just take it off gently and bear in mind wires that might not have much length on them. Right, let's crack on. Right guys, as you can see, I've got the door panel disconnected. Could perhaps be a little bit gentler. Still been held on by the door handle cable And there's a couple of wires. But as you can see, most of the bits you might need to work on. There's your electric window motor. Might do another video completely on the electric window system in the future. We've got electric window problems. This is how to get to the motor. If you need to fix a speaker or replace it, that's how to get to your speakers. And if you've got door lock problems, again, this is how to get to it. So even though it's not fully off, you don't really have to take it off the car unless you're replacing it with a new door card. And then it's just a case of disconnecting the cable in the handle, which is a bit fiddly but not impossible, and a few wires. But that is basically it for removing the door card. Now for putting it back together. First thing you want to do with putting door cards back on is line up this top bit first and get this rubber on top of that metal there. Once that's slotted on nicely, you'll be able to work your way around, just push all the plastic clips back in and start getting it screwed up. So I'm going to start putting it back together now, and we'll have a quick recap at the end, and hopefully you guys can manage to do this yourself. So tools required up to now has been a Phillips screwdriver, a flat screwdriver for prizing things, a 10mm socket for the plastic bolts underneath, and maybe some pliers or a flat screwdriver to pop them out, and a T25 Torx bit for the 2 Torx screws that we've just taken out. Anyway, let's get it back on.